Hi, this is Governor Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild, Judge, Governor of the Federal Estate of Washington, District of Columbia, doing an updated report. So where we are is that I am due to pick up my government access badge from the DCHR Customer Care Center. And so I have been in touch with the Special Operations Division of Metropolitan Police Department. There was one particular officer who maintained contact with me so that he could identify me in presence. When I met with him, the first question out of his mouth is, "Do you suffer from any mental health issues?" And then he said, "Do you feel suicidal?" I became indignant and irate. I let him know, first of all, I have submitted the reimbursable fees form with your rates increase along with an executive order. I am Governor Rothschild. I have been Governor Rothschild for 2 years, going on 3. That's not rocket science. So it doesn't take rocket science to identify me, especially that we have been emailing, and the email that he has been sending to was Judge Rothschild. Okay, so what happened is I went for help. Another MPD officer comes over supposedly to help me, and he began to be in collusion with the first. I became upset. I had already asked for the supervisor several times. He didn't have one. Everybody's in a meeting. This from Metropolitan Police Department. So I was indignant, and I became so upset, really, really next to tears from the frustration. So I decided I'm going to run over to the Government Accountability Office where I am verified. Of course, when I get to the front desk, the officer needed to see my badge, which is what I'm on my way to get. That's what this is about. But guess what happened? This MPD officer and his collusive persons with him went into the troposcatter to affect the special police officers at the Government Accountability Office. See, I knew what was going on. So, needless to say, because of the influence and the way things go on the radio and the satellite, of course, this special police officer, in his line of duty, he was addressing me accordingly. But I noticed, I said, no, he seems to be predisposed to an attitude regarding me, and I'm going to have to talk this all the way down. So I had to ask for his supervisor. Then I became even angrier because I'm having to report someone who was having a good day before I walked into the building and who didn't seem to deserve to be reported on to his supervisor. But here it is, I had to ask for his supervisor. So the supervisor came down and he was very patient with me and got my story. So what I did is went further and I gave his supervisor the information of the officers that I presume are in the troposcatter on the radio and satellite affecting the SPOs when they're in their line of duty. So that is going to be handled straight up. And, well, those officers, they've got to go. We're not going to have corruption in our police force. Law enforcement is to uphold the law. And so we're not going to deal with that. And then what I felt further was the conspiracy. The conspiracy to involve innocent persons who are in the line of duty doing what they do for their job and their job descriptions. They don't want to be a part of the corruption. They want to do their jobs. They want to be in duty. And so I'm going to address the issue about the troposcatter and the satellite and the conspiracy to commit collusion and other acts of corruption by anyone who's left with MPD who doesn't seem to understand. So it's a little late in the game to be playing these, these insulting games. It's a little late for that. I'm on my way to get my credentialing badge. I'm on my way to go to DCHR. I'm already verified with the Government Accountability Office. So I was instructed to get a police escort, but please know that I'm not afraid to show up at DCHR customer care alone if I have to be my own defense and MPD is inadequate because they permit persons to collude and to commit corruption while they're in uniform. So there's 2 officers this morning. By the time they got to their supervisor, it was far too late for that. So I'm just saying, Those of you who are in the troposcatter, the special police are not your subjects. You are not their supervisors. Do your job and attend to your business, because we are not putting up with that. I am Governor Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild, Judge, and you all have a great day.